Hi friends, myself Sainath Lambade, and today we are going to discuss the topic that is the cell structure and organization. Or the another name for this topic is a cell, the unit of a life. As you know that cell is the structural and functional unit of a living organisms. So while studying this chapter, we shall know that what is a cell. Actually, this cell is derived from the Latin word called as a cellula. Cellula is nothing but that is a small compartment. That is means a small compartment. As you know that cell is the basic structural and functional unit of all living organisms. The cell is a unit mass of a protoplasm or living substance. If anybody asks you the question, what is a cell? Cell is, you may directly say that cell is a unit mass of a protoplasm, or what is meant by protoplasm is nothing but that is a living substance. That is a living substance. Now we'll see about the discovery of the cell. The first microscope was built by the Zacharias Janssen. The first microscope was developed by the Zacharias Janssen. It was modified by the Galileo. It was modified by the Galileo. Robert Hooke developed a new microscope and he studied internal structure of many plants. Firstly, the microscope was developed by the Zacharias Janssen. It was modified by the Galileo. Then, after the Galileo, the microscope was taken by the Robert Hooke, developed the microscope and studied the internal structure of the plants. Robert Hooke, in 1665, wrote a book that is a Micrographia. In 1665, Robert Hooke has written a book that is known as a Micrographia. This question has been arised many times. He observed a slice of a cork and found honeycomb structure with a number of compartments named cells. The cells of Hooke's actually were the cell wall enclosing the spaces left by the dead protoplast. By the dead protoplast. Actually, this protoplast was before that, the protoplasm, and after the dead, it is a protoplast. Anton van Leeuwenhoek, a Dutch businessman. After the Robert Hooke, actually Robert Hooke has observed the cells which was a cell wall. And followed by this Robert Hooke, the Anton van Leeuwenhoek was a Dutch businessman, first saw the and described a living cell. First living cell was observed by Anton van Leeuwenhoek, since he was studied about 1632 to 1723. Example of the living cells that are the bacteria, RBCs, sperms, etc. Robert Brown, followed by the Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Robert Brown was an English botanist in 1831, discovered the nucleus in the cell of orchid root. Robert Brown has discovered the nucleus. Nucleus is the main structural and functional unit of a cell. Dujardin discovered the living semi-fluid substance of the cell, which was named as a sarcode. And after this, Dujardin, the Purkinje in 1839, J. Purkinje renamed sarcode as a protoplast. And protoplasm is a formative substance found in a cell of animal embryo. Protoplasm is the formative substance which is mainly found in the animal cell of an animal embryo. Followed by this Purkinje, von Mohl in 1846 applied the name protoplasm to the content of embryonic cell of the plant. After this von Mohl, there was a scientist known as a Valdier in 1888. The nucleus contains chromosomes was discovered by the Valdier. The nucleus is having the presence of chromosomes. This was discovered by the scientist called as a Valdier in 1888. Followed by this Valdier, there was a rising of a cell theory, and cell theory was given by the two scientists, that is M.J. Sheldon and T.S. Schwann. Actually, this M.J. Sheldon in 1838, he was a German botanist. He was a German botanist, and this T.S. Schwann in 1839, he was a British zoologist. Both of them have given the cell theory. This theory, however, did not explain as to how the new cell were formed. This theory was unfortunate to describe that how the new cells arised. Examine a large number of plants. This M.J. Sheldon has examined a large number of plants because he was a botanist. He observed that all the plants are composed of different kinds of cells and which forms tissues of the plants. Followed by this T.S. Schwann, he studied the different types of animal cells and reported that cell had a thin outer layer. He has studied the different types of animal cells and reported that it is having a thin outer layer which is today known as a plasma membrane. He also concluded, based on his studies on the plant tissue, the presence of cell wall is the unique characteristics of plants. While studying the plant tissue, he has explained that plants are having the cell wall and which is the unique characteristics of the plants. So, in the cell wall is only present in the plant cell and it is a unique characteristics of the plant cells. And followed by this, we will discuss about the ultrastructure of the prokaryotics. The cells in the prokaryotic shows the following main features. It has a chemically complex and protective cell envelope. Actually, this cell envelope forms of three layers, actually outer, middle and inner one. Outer is the glycocalyx, middle is the cell wall, inner is the plasma membrane. As the outer will see the glycocalyx, it is not present in all the prokaryotic organism. Glycocalyx is not present in all the prokaryotic organisms. When present, it becomes the outermost layer. Whenever it is present, glycocalyx, it becomes the outer layer made up of macromolecules and polysaccharides and sometimes proteins. Again, this glycocalyx has been having a little bit two types, that is a slim layer and capsule. Actually, this slim layer is formed of loose sheet or this capsule that is of tough layer. In some bacteria, it is in the form of loose sheet called as a slim layer. In other, it becomes a thick and tough covering called as a capsule. As in the homes and bathrooms, you know that there is having the bacterial growth on the tiles that are having that is a slim layer. Functions, it protect the cell to prevent the desiccations. Means it prevent the cell from the desiccation. Desiccation means from the drying. The cell won't dry because it is having the one hard covering. So it prevents the loss of water and nutrients from the cell. In certain bacteria, presence of capsule gives a pathogenic or the virulence in the nature. Example is the Streptococcus pneumonia causing a pneumonia in the mammals. Cell wall is a second layer of a cell envelope. It is present just below the glycocalyx. Means outer layer is the glycocalyx and followed by this outer layer there is a middle layer, that is a cell wall. It is a rigid due to the presence of peptidoglycan or murine in the eubacteria. Eubacteria means true bacteria. It gives a definite shape. Cell wall gives a definite shape, gives a strong structural support, prevent the bacteria from the bursting or collapsing the cell wall. Means it also gives the preventing or bursting the bacteria or collapsing. pseudopeptidoglycan in the archaea bacteria. There is having the pseudo means falsely formed, the layer is falsely formed, pseudopeptidoglycan in the arc bacteria. The cell wall of the different bacteria shows different types of reaction, that is gram stains. As you know that gram staining was developed by the Danish bacteriologist, that is Hans Christian Gram, in 1884. Cell wall actually made up of two things, that is a peptidoglycan and murine. The cell wall which is having the made up of peptidoglycan, it shows a gram positive bacteria. The cell wall which is made up of murine, that shows a gram negative bacteria. It gives a mechanical strength to the cell. Gram positive bacteria that retain the stain crystalline violet are called gram positive. Gram negative bacteria that doesn't retain the stain crystalline violet when it is washed with alcohol are called as a gram negative bacteria. After this, we are going to discuss little bit about the multicellular. This is a multicellular organisms. The organisms in which the body is made up of many cells are called as a multicellular organisms. Multicellular organisms cells are differentiated to perform various functions. The cells performing different functions are grouped into the tissues, and tissues into the tissue system called as a organ. When the number of cells will come together and will form the tissue, and when a number of tissues will come together and will form the organ, and many organs come together and will form the organ system. Division of labor is present. In the multicellular, there is a division of labor. The work is distributed. Multicellular organisms are far more complex and more efficient, and their size depends on the number of the cell present in the body. Lifespan is long due to the distribution of the work for each cell type. In the multicellular organism, the lifespan is more because the work has been distributed in the many cells. So, work has been distributed in each cell type, and the death or the single cell does not affect the organism. Death of one single cell will not affect that particular organ or the organisms. The organisms that start their life from the single cell, example that is a Spirogyra, mango, and example that is a man, etc. Prokaryotic cells. Pro means primitive, very undeveloped cell. Prokaryotic cells and organization. This prokaryotic cells. Pro means very primitive, karyon means nucleus, a cell in which a genetic material is not organized into a true nucleus is called as a prokaryotic cells. Example BGA means blue-green algae, that is a mycoplasm, bacteria, PPLO, pleuropneumonia-like organism. These are some of the examples of the prokaryotic cells. What is the characteristics of these prokaryotic cells? It is a primitive type of a cell. The cell wall is not made up of cellulose. It contains muramic and amino acids. Nucleus is not well organized, and nuclear membrane and nucleolus is absent. A small dense structure in the spherical form. The nucleus is the small spherical structure which is actually formed, and this we'll see in the next lecture. So thank you.